Hey everybody. So, big old storm is happening throughout pretty much all of New Hampshire. And Isis and I are grounded this weekend. So I figured I would go over my winter gear. I do a lot of what's in my pack for my section hikes and whatnot, but I don't usually go over my winter gear. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the time being. First things first, I don't have a specific winter pack. I just use my Z-Packs Arc Blast year-round because it's a good pack and it holds everything. And it works for me. So we're gonna just deconstruct this whole thing, and I'll show you what I carry for a winter day hike that can last anywhere from like an hour to 12 hours if I'm feeling ambitious. So starting off with what's in the front of the pack here, it is the belt for my front utility pack, which I'll go over that in a minute. It is an extra leash for Isis. I always carry a redundant set for her just in case anything happens. It is my deuce of spades because, you know, poop still happens in the wintertime. My battery brick for charging. I will put this out front if I know it's going to be like 32 and above. Otherwise, it is inside, tucked into a sock, tucked into my clothing bag, which you'll see in a couple of minutes. My trash bag is always with me. My sit pad, because who wants to sit in the snow? And the tent poles move from the side pouches to the front. So those are always with me too. So that also means that my tent is always with me. Now the front utility pack is, of course, mine and Isis's snack bag. Right now it's packed with a smoothie, some treats for her. My headlamp is in there. My MP3 player is also in there. Lenses for my camera on my phone. Like I said, various snacks, which apparently I've been eating out of this week, so there's not really that much left, which means I should pack it up for next week. So that is the front utility pack and the front pouch on my backpack. So looking over the sides of the pack, I still have her water bowl because she doesn't just eat snow, she actually has to drink water. I have my cooler cloth to clean myself up because, you know, poop still happens. The extra collar for her, this is her old collar. I got her a new one for Christmas. And turning it around, inside my pouch here, I still have hand sanitizer and sunscreen because, you know, the sun reflecting off of the snow can give you an even worse sunburn than the summertime. Chapstick, and then I have several of these, which are salt chews. They help with like cramping and things like that. So that's that. And I still have my water bottle pouch on my pack as well, because when it's 32 and above, I can actually go back to my smart water bottles because they're not going to freeze. So that is the outside of the pack. I should say too that also hanging on the outside is, of course, my Garmin InReach, which I always use because I'm predominantly a solo hiker. My water, I mentioned about using the smart water bottles when it's above 32, but generally that's like later on, closer to spring. So I switched to Nalgene bottles, and I have one for me, and then I have one dedicated to the dog. So the one for me, I can put like electrolytes in it and things like that. The one for the dog just stays plain water so that I know that she'll always have fresh water. Usually I pack this one inside the pack so it doesn't quite freeze as quickly as This one might, and this one stays in an insulated pouch, and I always put it in upside down because water freezes down. So that way the mouth stays unfrozen and you're able to drink your water. So those also hang on the outside of my pack. Now, before I even dig into what's wrapped in my waterproof lining, I have the bag for my Hillsound trail crampons. That's always available, although I probably really don't need to carry that. There is a coat for Isis, which she will wear sometimes, but it's a fight to get it on her, but I still carry it anyway, just in case, because if we are stuck out overnight, she's gonna need some extra insulation. I have my Outdoor Research down beanie, which I actually use this in the spring and sometimes in the summertime if it's cold at night when I'm backpacking, but in the wintertime, it's just a good extra hat to have. And I carry my Outdoor Research, I call these super mittens. Because I have Raynaud's, my hands get cold really easily. And if it's below 0 up top, these are a lifesaver for me. They save my hands from basically turning white and freezing. So I carry these really easily accessible right on top. Next, of course, is my tent, okay? It's still the Z-Pax Duplex. Like I said, I have the poles for it too, so I don't have to worry about, using my trekking poles at all. I have not set it up in the winter time, nor do I really want to. It's only in my pack for emergencies, but it would come in handy, at least in an emergency situation. Then I have my food bag. And I don't really carry a whole ton in my food bag. I think I have like a day's worth, maybe. I've got my kitchen, basically, which is the pot, the stove, and 2 lighters. Of course, I have some fuel as well. I've got my long-handled spork so that I can eat anything. I do have my water filter with me. Again, it's in the pack. It's kind of insulated, so I don't have to worry about it freezing unless I'm out overnight, in which case I would probably put it close to my body to keep it from freezing and being useless. So I've got my water filtration just in case. Right now, I actually don't have any food with me, but I have plenty of drink mixes and coffee because apparently that's what I live off of, and my windscreen. So that is currently what's in my food bag, but I would usually put in like a freeze-dried meal. I might even throw in my cheeses and like the salamis that I like to carry as well, just so that they have a place to be while I'm hiking. But yep, that's my food bag. Jumping right into the pink bag is always my first aid bag. And like my necessities bag and things like that. And this really doesn't change. I keep my toothbrush and my toothpaste, nail clippers. Oh, I have a small deodorant in here too, just in case I, want to smell good on the trail. Band-Aids, various like alcohol prep pads. If I know that I'm going to be out and it's around the time I have to take my shot for my rheumatoid arthritis, I might take that pen with me just in case, because if I get stranded and I want to take my meds, I can do that. And various other things that, are good to take care of myself. I also still have some antibacterial wipes and, oh, cornstarch. I was wondering what this was. I have this packed for an overnight still too. So I was going to use cornstarch in my hair if I was, out for too long, just to take care of some of the grease. This is just some tape in case I hurt myself and I need to tape myself up. Vet tape for the dog. Once upon a time, I would need a comb. I don't really need it that much anymore because of my hair. And I got some extra batteries and some sore joint rub in my first aid kit. Pretty standard. Last couple of things. Okay, I have my Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. In here is also my pillow. These will always stay in my bag no matter what. Just because if I'm stuck out there, you know, I want to be a little bit comfortable. I do not carry my quilt. I do, however, carry, let me see if I can open this up. I have a fleece liner that can be good in like an emergency situation. For me, it's actually really warm. Plus, I would have the dog with me because she just likes to snuggle up, especially if it's cold out. And I would still have my down coat and all of my layers on. So I carry my fleece liner instead of my quilt, just because I don't want to keep compressing it and uncompressing it and compressing it and uncompressing it. I want to save it for my true section hikes. A lot of this stuff that I'm carrying is just for an emergency overnight, just in case I get in a jam. So it's not meant to keep me really comfortable. It's just meant to get me through the night. And then this is my clothing bag. It is waterproof, so everything stays nice and dry and will keep me warm. I have a wind layer that I keep in here always. Then I have extra pair of toe socks and an extra pair of fleece socks, which would keep my feet pretty warm if I needed to. This is just another long sleeve shirt that I would just layer with everything else that I had, just to, again, stay warm for the night, keep myself, you know, relatively comfortable, but not, you know, in a luxury situation. And a towel, just because I always have a towel in case the dog needs to be toweled off, or myself, because you never know, I might fall through a river crossing or something like that. So again, I don't keep a ton of stuff. I keep just enough to keep me going until I can either get out of the woods or help can come and help me. Not that that's going to happen, because I'm a careful hiker. So that is pretty much what is in the pack, except for, like, you know, tent stakes and whatnot. So pretty standard between the winter and the other 3 seasons of the year, just with extra mindfulness to being warm. I might, you know, throw an extra warm layer if it's like super cold. A lot of this is dependent on, you know, temperature and things like that when I check the forecast before I head out. Now, the last couple of pieces of gear, of course, have to do with like footwear and things like that. These are the boots that I wear. In fact, they're ready for a hike. I keep my Hill Sound trail crampons on my boots, so you can see the traction right there. Just because I know that once I get out of the car, I'm gonna need it anyway, because trailheads are icy and whatnot. So I just leave them on, you know, and I use them around the yard too. So the boots are the Oboz Bridgers. They are the 9-inch ones, and they are 400 grams of insulation. Again, my Rhinods, my feet get colder than the rest of me pretty quick. So if I know I'm gonna be out for an extended amount of time in 32 and below, then I'm gonna want these, and I'm gonna want an extra thick pair of socks, you know, my long johns, my, you know, top base layer, my mid layer, and then of course my Torrid, Enlightened Equipment Torrid shell, which is 850 fill down, and it's actually super warm. I've worn this during my work week, you know, going from house to house like I do, and found that if I don't take it off in the car, I actually overheat. So if you're looking to get a Torrid, I absolutely recommend this. This is purple on the inside, black on the outside, and it's a lovely coat. And what else? Oh yeah, snowshoes. I pack these in the car. I check out the conditions, and if need be, they go on either side of my pack, sort of in the pockets where my smart water bottles would be for the other 3 seasons. So these just kind of hang out like this, and if I need them, they are there. I am not so much of a trail breaker anymore. Isis has, and she's right over there, has never been a trail breaker. She's just too small. So we are happy to have them in case we need them. But more often than not, they do stay home. I do use them around the yard and things like that. But these are the Tubbs Flex VRTs. I've had them, gosh, I think I've had them for about 5 years. They are still really good. They are aggressive. So you see the side teeth here, and you see on the foot, there's, you know, the crampons there too. I like these because of my arthritis. I have a hard time with pulling bindings tight. This knob, it snaps down, and then it just ratchets this top piece onto the top of your foot to hold it steady. And then it has a strap in the back. And they are perfect for someone like me who has severe arthritis in their hands and can't always work those straps tight enough to stay on. I find that if I do have to use these, I tighten them up once and they're good for the entire day. So a worthy investment, the Tubbs Flex VRTs. And finally, you know, just a couple of little extra things. You know, you've seen me wear my Columbia beanie. It has the Omni Heat on the inside, so this is actually a really good hat. It keeps my head super warm. I do wear these Outdoor Research wool gloves when I'm not wearing my mittens, and these are also super warm. They have little treads for gripping things. I have tried to use the pads on my phone, and they work really well, especially if you don't have the face recognition like my phone has. You can pretty much work any phone with these. So I highly recommend the Outdoor Research. They're wool gloves. You know, they come in black, they come in the purple like I have, and a buff. I carry a buff year round. I have like 2 or 3 of them. This one is my winter one because it has a fleece lining to it. So it's got a little extra around my neck, and I can pull it up over my nose if I need to stay warm. And it's really effective. And of course, my pocket knife. I always have a pocket knife with me if I need to. You know, it's just a good thing to have. Generally, like I said, I'll wear about 3 layers on top. I will wear these. These are my fleece lined leggings. If it's like, I would say 25 and above in the wintertime, 25 and below, even if I'm climbing up to that temperature, I will put long johns on underneath them, which gets a little bulky, but you know, it works for me. Because you are constantly moving, temperature, you've got to gauge it to your comfort level and, you know, what you want to wear, because, you know, some people hike hot, some people hike cold. I tend to fluctuate, so I have to check the temperature and just use my best judgment. So fleece lined leggings, a base layer, a mid layer, and then my Torrid shell for the winter time. And really that's about it, you know? It's not that much different than, you know, spring, summer, and fall hiking. Just a couple of extra things like on your feet and a couple of extra warm layers to get out there and really enjoy the mountains and be safe. So I hope to be out next weekend. We'll see what the weather's like and what's going on in my life and whatnot. But if you're in this blizzard, I hope you're staying safe, and I'll see you back out there on the trails soon. All right, bye.